Hare Krishna devotees. Welcome everyone for today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. Let's start the class with small kirtan. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Gandhavika Giridhari Gaura Hari Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yat Vijnano Yat Adharo Yat Parastham Yat Atmakaha Ekah Srijasi Bhutani Bhutair Evatma Mayaya. Yat Vijnana, the source of knowledge. Yat Adharaha, under whose protection. Yat Paraha, under whose subordination. Tvam, you. Yat Atmakaha, in what capacity. Ekaha, alone. Shrujasi, you are creating. Bhutani, the living entities. Bhutai, with the help of the material elements. Eva, certainly. Atma, self. Mayaya, by potency. So today the sloka number is Srimad Bhagavatam 2.5.4. So here the translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Translation: My dear Father, what is the source of your knowledge? Under whose protection are you standing? And under whom are you working? What is your real position? You don't create all entities with material elements by your personal energy. But it was known to Sri Narada Muni that Lord Brahma attained creative energy by undergoing severe austerities. As such, he could understand that there was someone else superior to Brahmaji who invested Brahma with the power of creation. Therefore, he asked all the above questions. Discoveries of progressive scientific achievements are therefore not independent. The scientist has to attain the knowledge of a thing already existing by means of the wonderful brain made by someone else. A scientist can work with the help of such a awarded brain, but it is not possible for the scientist to create own or a similar brain. Therefore, no one is independent in the matter of any creation, nor is such creation automatic. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवंश श्रीरूपं सान्द्रजातं सहगण ललिता कान्वितांश हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तु तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरे वांछा कृपा सिंधुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्त हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Hope I can, I'm audible.
Yes,
Yes,
Mataji, you are
Mataji.
audible.
Thank you, Mataji. So today we are discussing about Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, fifth chapter, fourth sloka. So this chapter titled as Cause of All Causes. So here Narada Muni is asking questions to Brahma. Um, so this chapter is called The Cause of. It's very interesting that Narada Muni is he's inquiring from his father, like, how is everything working for you? Who is giving this knowledge? Where you come from? What is, how are you managing this? Like with inquisit, uh, he's asking all these questions. So a person who is intelligent, he will inquire, like how is everything working in this material. So if we see the first slogan of our Vedanta sutra is Atato, we must inquire about the absolute truth. So a person who is intelligent will inquire everything working in this material world, right? So we came to this material world with ignorance. It has been said from our childhood that our father, our mother are our first gurus, and then so many other guidances that we get, so many uh, gurus that we have in our. So in this process, the gradually the living entity can find out what is the cause of all causes, what is the ultimate goal. So we can see from Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jiva Guru Prasade Phaya Bhakti Lata Bija. Who is the fortunate soul who will get the seed of this devotional knowledge, or this devotion planting in his heart, so that that bhakti lata will grow and go back home to back to Godhead. So that person is very fortunate. This is described in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, chapter 19, verse number 151. So so unless if spiritual soul he come in contact with devotees, it's very difficult for them to understand what is the cause of all causes. So many people they visited so many, they go to so many tirtha yatras, so Char Dham, uh, difficulties. So they go to pilgrimage places to worship the Lord. And we see there so many devotees. They build some small houses with the stones. They just put stone on one by one, right, on top of one another. So there are so many things hanging on the tree also, right? So not only in India, we can see this in many places. Like this kind of customs are there in across all the countries. Like they have those desires, and because they want the blessings of God to satisfy this desire, they said, please, my dear Lord, let me build a house, 5 floors, 10 floors. So they put those stones. So somebody, they want to become rich and they want to become powerful, right? Uh, Somebody, they may want son or daughter, or they want their marriage to happen. So they're hanging trees here, they're hanging the things on trees here and there, and they build the houses with that stones and they pray to Lord. Of course, the people are good and they're pious. It's not a good, it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing, but they're also intelligent and they know that there is a supreme power who can help them, right? They have that belief. But ultimate desire that they should have is to have a love for God, who wants to become free from this material entanglement, right? Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam veti tatvaha. Among thousands of people, hardly one strives for perfection, and among those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me the truth. So, after millions and millions of lifetime, right? Many millions of people, only few are interested in knowing the ultimate truth. So, all the temples in India and all over the world, the churches, the mosques, they're meant for people to create God consciousness inside their head. So unless we come in contact with devotees, it is very difficult to understand everything. So everything we purchase in this world, we have a booklet, right? We have a manual in this material world. So similarly, Krishna also gives the scriptures, the Vedas, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and so many other scriptures which we can understand. So Srila Prabhupada, he will never leave any moment to bang the scientists. In this puppet also, he's done the same thing. So sometimes he calls them their rascals. So one devotee asked, how can you say he's a rascal because he went to university, he got his PhD, he has so many degrees, he has so much brain, he has written so many theories, so much understanding he has. How can you say he's a rascal? Right? So Srila Prabhupada explains the scientists, they cannot produce life. They only can make bombs and they kill people, but they will not be able to find some medicine by which people can live eternally. So that the scientists have a brain. In some ways, they are good, but they are misdirected because their energy is not focused to understand uh, the center of point, which is Ishvara. Their only understanding is how to exploit material nature. And we can see before uh, the Industrial Revolution, there was a society where people are very happy. They led a very simple life. So they used to cultivate their own land. They used to have few cows. They used to go to temple. So they worship God and they live a very happy, simple life. But after industrial revolution has come, which is like from past some 100 years back, they're all changing and everybody is suffering, right? So we are also in the same suffering. Like when computer was invented, there was a big propaganda like now they don't need humans at all, right? Now also it's the same situation, like AI has come and it's a lot of budge, like there is no need of human, everything can be done by AI, everything can be done by robots, right? So after this kind of revolution, there is so much pressure, and there is so much pollution, to just give some small prompt to AI, it takes some liters of water, right? It's like there is so much of water, and there is so much of pollution. We see so many billboards, so many publicity about all these things, all the hospitals, about the medicines, about so many things which before was not there. So with this, we are getting so many new diseases are coming from the mind and from our pollutant body, right? So people are living in fear. They don't believe God. They believe the scientists and they believe the doctors, and therefore their life is boiled, right? So Srila Prabhupada aims to bring back to this, to the original way of living and the culture through temples, right? People can get knowledge and they can practice in their home, and they can become very happy. And that is the purpose of Krishna consciousness. That is to become ourselves happy and to make the whole society happy. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 9.2, Susukam Kartum Avyayam. This devotional service is joyfully performed. So we dance, we take prasadam, and then we become very happy. And we are trying to distribute this knowledge. We can distribute this knowledge in the form of preaching, in the form of prasadam, right? We see we have so many places where people are distributing books. So people are purchasing these books, and even if they read only one book, their life will get changed. So because the seed of devotional service is planted in the uh, it cannot be happened forcefully, right? It is voluntarily. Even if they can read one shloka, their life will get changed. So uh, so it's like we are trying to transform energy, like whatever we learn, whatever we know. So we are trying to transform this knowledge to the people, so that they will try in turn try to please Krishna. So so that so this happens to happen this, they should always remain with the devotees. Like there is one example, the symbol of Rome is a, bunch of sticks, right? It's made of matchsticks, and there is an axe with them. So if you take one matchstick out and if you try to break it, it will be get break easily, right? But if you try to bend some 20-30 sticks, so it is impossible to break. So as we remain together in the association of devotees, so this is very powerful. This association is very powerful to remain in Krishna consciousness. So, and of course, there are, we see in our regular lives, like in our bhakti life, there are so many variety of devotees. We may be all in different levels of bhakti. But one thing we should understand, and one thing we should appreciate all the devotees, they're all trying to become devotees, right? Such a nice thing it is. We are every time when we are trying to find a new devotee, when we are trying to attract them, it's very difficult. Like it's very difficult in our society, right? So if people are coming, if devotees are coming, like we would appreciate, and their understanding, their level of understanding and the level of their practicing, like everyone is trying to become a devotee. And uh, like my appeal is we should always remain united. If we have any problems at some point of time, we should reach out to our spiritualists, and we should try to solve our problem, right? So there are some pastimes associated with Ramanujacharya. One pastime goes like this. Like there are some disciples with Ramanujacharya, and they started complaining about his cousin brother Govinda. Govinda is his cousin brother. So Sometimes we see devotees do some strange things, but we should not misunderstand, right? So their intention is very important to understand. So this devotee Govinda, he's sitting outside one prostitute house. So disciple of Ramanujacharya went to his guru and Prabhu, Gurudev, what is this? Your cousin brother, he's sitting outside that prostitute house, and you know what people will think. So he's your own cousin brother, right? Then Ramanujacharya, he didn't react. He didn't say that you should go away, you should just beat him up, and you should throw him out of this ashrama, right? He didn't say that. So he said, okay, let me inquire. Let me find out what is happening. So he called Govinda. Govinda, come here now. Sit down. And he started asking, where you were last night? Where were you? So he said, oh, I was sitting near a window, near a house, and they were reciting the Ramayana. And I was so attracted that it was so beautiful, and I was just listening and enjoying Ramayana. So Ramanujacharya asked, like, do you know whose house was that? He said, no, Prabhu, I don't know, but it was so beautiful, and the pastimes was very nice. So I was just listening Ramayana there. And then one more time they started complaining again. Hey Govinda, he's killing the snakes. He is putting his hand in the mouth of the snake and he's trying to kill this. Then Ramanujacharya said, okay, let me talk to him. Why are you playing with that snake? Then why are you trying to kill that snake? Then Govinda replied saying, no, Gurudev, the snake had a thorn stuck in in his throat. I was taking it out so that the snake can go and live without any problem in his own life. So sometimes what we see and what we perceive is different, right? Because the most dangerous thing we can do in our spiritual life is to offend the devotees. So our senses, our mind are so imperfect, so we should not judge the devotees. Whatever the devotees are doing, there is a purpose, and he's trying to please Krishna. So if you have any doubt, inquire from the devotee. Prabhu, we can ask any Prabhuji or Mataji, like, I have seen you doing this. Can you explain me why are you doing this? Because I don't understand. Just try to be humble, because in the shloka it is Prabhupada is explaining like even the Big Bang theory. If you talk about Big Bang theory, it is just some atoms, some elements come out of the matter, and because of some explosion, all this cosmos and these galaxies are formed, right? It's all assumption. So uh, we should inquire. Like, no one is there explain about that Big Bang theory. What is the cause? If you ask, there is no one to explain, right? So it's all assumption. So we should also be very careful with our devotees, like, uh, so that we are always protected. So the most dangerous thing that we can do in our spiritual life is to offend the devotees. Even he temple yesterday itself, right? He's a great soul. We never know, because trying to please Krishna. He's trying to get knowledge so he can go back to Godhead and become perfect in his life. So I will end here. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and please forgive me if I have done any mistakes. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Veda Mataji, would you like to translate?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna Mataji Dandavat Pranam. ಲೈಕ್ ಸುರಂಗಿನಿ ಮಾತಾಜಿ ಅವರು ಇವತ್ತು 2.5.4 ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ನಾರದರು ಕೇಳುವಂತ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ, ತನ್ನ ತಂದೆ ಆದ ನಾರದರು ಬ್ರಹ್ಮನಿಗೆ ಕೇಳುವಂತ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಓ ತಂದೆ, ನೀನು ಈ ಒಂದು ಜ್ಞಾನ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ಅದರ ಒಂದು ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಂತು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ಆಧಾರದ ಮೇಲೆ ನೀನು ನಿಂತಿದೀಯಾ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾರ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನೀನು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೀಯಾ, ಮತ್ತೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಒಂದು ರಿಯಲ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಈ ಒಂದು ಹಲವಾರು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾರದರು ಕೇಳುವಂತದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಹಲವಾರು ಸತಿ ನಾವ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಂತ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನಾವು ಕೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟನೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಜಾತ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಜಿಜ್ಞಾಸ ಅಂತಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಮಾತಾಜಿ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಚೈತನ್ಯ ಚರಿತಾಮೃತದಲ್ಲೂ ಒಂದು ಇದಿದೆ, ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೂ ರಿಸೀವ್ಸ್ ನಾಲೆಜ್, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಜ್ಞಾನನ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಪಡಿಬೇಕು, ಸೊ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆನೂ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಹಲವಾರು ಸತಿ ನಾವು ಈಗ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ತುಂಬಾ ಜನ ಭಕ್ತರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಕಲ್ಲಿನ ಮನೆ ಕಟ್ಟೋದು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ 4-5 ಕಲ್ಲಿದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ತರ ಕಟ್ಟುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಅಥವಾ ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ಮದ್ವೆ ಆಗಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ನಾನು ಕಲ್ಲಿನ ಮನೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಕಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ನಿಜವಾದ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಹ ಒಂದು ಮನೆ ಕಟ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಆ ಒಂದು ಊಹೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಮದ್ವೆ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ಮನೇಲಿ ಮದ್ವೆ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಮರದ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಏನಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ದಾರನೋ ಅಂತ್ರನೋ ತಾಯ್ತಾನೋ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಮರಕ್ಕೆ ಕಟ್ಟುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಬಿಲೀಫ್ ನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದು ತಪ್ಪಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಸರಿನೇ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಆ ಒಂದು ಭಕ್ತರು ಆ ಭಕ್ತಿಯಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡೋರು ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಅದ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಈಗ ನಮಗೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಭೌತಿಕ ಜಗತ್ತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಮಗೆ ಜೀವನನ ಹೇಗ್ ನಡೆಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಲೈಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ಯುವಲ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರತ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿನೇ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ರಭುಪಾದರ ಒಂದು ಕೃಪೆಯಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಭೌತಿಕ ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತಾ, ಭಾಗವತಂ, ಚೈತನ್ಯ ಚರಿತಾಮೃತ ಈ ರೀತಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಗಳನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಭುಪಾದರು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಒಬ್ರು ಪ್ರಭುಪಾದರು ಹಲವಾರು ಸತಿ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ನ ರಾಸ್ಕಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಉದ್ದೇಶಪೂರ್ವಕ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದ್ರ ಒಂದು ಡಿವೋಟಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರಂತೆ, ಯಾಕೆ ಪ್ರಭುಪಾದರೆ ನೀವು ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ನ ರಾಸ್ಕಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀರಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಅವರು ತುಂಬಾ ಓದಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಇದೆ, ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಡಿಗ್ರೀಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರು ಡಿಗ್ರೀಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇಂಥವ್ರನ್ನ ನೀವು ರಾಸ್ಕಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಯಾಕೆ ಕರೀತೀರಂದ್ರೆ, ಅವಾಗ ಪ್ರಭುಪಾದರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಂದ್ರೆ, ನೋಡು ನಾನೇನು ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ತಪ್ಪಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಆ ಒಂದು ಶಕ್ತಿನ ಮಿಸ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವರು ಮಿಸ್ಗೈಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಈ ಒಂದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕ ಕಡೆ ಅವ್ರು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಯಾವ್ದು ಟೆಂಪರವರಿನೋ ಅದರ ಹಿಂದೆ ಅವ್ರು ಓಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೇನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಪೀಪಲ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಈ ಜನರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ನ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ನ ಬಿಲೀವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಭಗವಂತನ ನಂಬೋದು ತುಂಬಾ ಇದು ಅಪರೂಪ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಒಂದು 1000 ಜನದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಒಬ್ರು ಇಬ್ರು ಮಾತ್ರ ಭಗವಂತನ ಕಡೆ ತಿರುಗಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾರಂತೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಜ್ಞಾನನ ಪಡಿಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆತುರರಾಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಶ್ರೀಲ ಪ್ರಭುಪಾದರು ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಡಿವೋಟೀಸ್ಗೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಲೈಕ್ ಏನು, ವಿ ಮೇಕ್ ಅವರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ. ಈಗ ಇಸ್ಕಾನ್ ಒಂದು ಇದು ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾವು ಸಹ ಖುಷಿಯಾಗಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ನಂತರ ಬರುವಂತ ಭಕ್ತರು ಸಹ ಖುಷಿಯಾಗಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಪ್ರಸಾದಂ ತಿನ್ನೋದಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಬುಕ್ ನ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಈ ಜ್ಞಾನ, ದಿವ್ಯವಾದ ಜ್ಞಾನ ನಾವೇನ್ ಪಡೆದಿರ್ತೀವೋ ಅದು ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇದು ಟೆಂಪರರಿ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಪರ್ಮನೆಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿನೆಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಇದು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಮಾತಾಜಿ, ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಕಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ಒಂದು ಕಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಎತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಮುರಿದ್ರೆ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಮುರಿದು ಬಿಡ್ಬೋದು. ಅದೇ ಒಂದು 20-30 ಕಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಒಂದೇ ಸತಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಆ ಒಂದು ಬಂಡಲ್ ನ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ತುಂಬಾ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿನ ನಮ್ಮ ಡಿವೋಟಿ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಭಕ್ತರ ಸಾಂಗತ್ಯ ಕೂಡ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಪವರ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಭೌತಿಕ ಜಗತ್ತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಭಕ್ತರಾಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಬಟ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ವೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ವೆನ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟೀಸ್, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಅವಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಸೀನಿಯರ್ಸ್ ನ ಒಂದು ಸಹಾಯದಿಂದ, ಒಂದು ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಇಂದ ನಾವು ಅದರಿಂದ ಆಚೆ ಬರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಹಾಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಭಕ್ತರ ಆ ಸಾಂಗತ್ಯ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ರಾಮಾನುಜಾಚಾರ್ಯರ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ರು, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನಾವು ಭಕ್ತರನ್ನ ಬೇರೆ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರದೇ ಆದಂತ ಒಂದು ಕಾರಣ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ರಾಮಾನುಜಾಚಾರ್ಯರ ಭಕ್ತರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ರಾಮಾನುಜಾಚಾರ್ಯರ ಒಂದು ಕಸಿನ್ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಗೋವಿಂದ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ಅವ್ರೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಒಂದು ಬಾಗ್ಲ ಹತ್ರ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಡಿಸೈಪಲ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಬಂದು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಂತೆ, ರಾಮಾನುಜಾಚಾರ್ಯರೇ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಕಸಿನ್ ಬ್ರದರ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಗೋವಿಂದರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಸೂಳೆಗಾರಿಕೆ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಮನೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಕೂತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಕೇಳಿ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ರಾಮಾನುಜಾಚಾರ್ಯ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಸರಿ, ಅವರು ತಪ್ಪಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳುವಂಥದ್ದು ಭಕ್ತರು, ಸೀನಿಯರ್ ಡಿವೋಟೀಸ್ ಹೇಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಗೋವಿಂದನ ಹೋಗಕ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಂತೆ, ನಿನ್ನೆ ನೈಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಂತೆ, ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಮನೆಯ ಒಂದು ಚೌಕಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತಿದ್ದೆ ಬಾಗ್ಲತ್ರ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ರಾಮಾಯಣ ಪ್ರವಚನ ನಡೀತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಂತೆ. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ರಾಮಾಚಾರ್ಯ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಂತೆ, ಯಾರ ಬಾಗ್ಲು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ ನನಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾನು ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ, ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ, ನಾನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಥೆನ ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೆ, ಆ ಒಂದು ಶ್ರವಣ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು ವೇ ಆಫ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡಿಸೈಪಲ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊತಾರೆ, ಸೀನಿಯರ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಇದೇ ರೀತಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಅವ್ರ ಭಕ್ತರು ಬಂದು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಂತೆ, ಗೋವಿಂದ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾನಂದ್ರೆ ಹಾವಿನ ಬಾಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆಟ ಆಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಅವ್ನು ಏನೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಹಾವಿಗೆ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಹಾನಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತ. ಅವಾಗ ರಾಮಾಚಾರ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಂತೆ, ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ ನೀನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ, ಇಲ್ಲ, ಹಾವಿನ ಬಾಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಮುಳ್ಳು ಚುಚ್ಕೊಂಡಿತ್ತು, ಆ ಮುಳ್ಳನ್ನ ಚುಚ್ಚಿ, ಆ ಗಂಟ್ಲಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಳ್ಳು ಚುಚ್ಚಿತ್ತು, ಅದನ್ನ ತೆಗೆದ್ರೆ ಹಾವು ಅದ್ರ ಪಾಠಕ ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ಆ ಒಂದು ಇಂಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಇಂದ ಬಾಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೈ ಹಾಕಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಇದಾಗಿದ್ರು, ಹಾವಂದ್ರೆ ವಿಷಭರಿತ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಅದನ್ನು ಸಹ ನಾನು ಹೋಗಿ ಆ ಮುಳ್ಳನ್ನ ತೆಗೆದೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು, ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಭಕ್ತರಿಗಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ಒಂದು ನಾವ್ ಏನ್ ನೋಡ್ತೀವೋ ಅದು ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಆದ್ರೆ ವಾಸ್ತವನೇ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಏನ್ ನೋಡ್ತೀವೋ ಅದನ್ನ ನಂಬೋದಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನೋ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗದೆ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅವ್ರನ್ನು ಕೇಳ್ಬೇಕು, ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ ಅಥವಾ ಮಾತಾಜಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಇದು ಕೆಲಸ ನಾನು ನೋಡ್ದೆ, ಬಟ್ ಇದು ನನ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ನೋಡೋದೇ ಒಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಅದ ಒಂದು ಇಂಟೆನ್ಷನ್ನೇ ಬೇರೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಯಾವತ್ತೇ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಭಕ್ತರನ್ನ ಜಡ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಇನ್ನೊಂದೇನಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾವು ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಭಕ್ತರಾಗಿ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಗುಣ ಏನಿರ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ, ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಹಂಬಲ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು, ನಾವ್ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ತುಂಬಾ ಹಂಬಲ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾವು ಎನ್ಕ್ವೈರಿನ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಈ ಒಂದು ಶ್ಲೋಕದ ಸಾರಾಂಶ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಎಂತ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಸೀನಿಯರ್ಸ್ ಹತ್ರ ಕೇಳಬೇಕು, ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಈ ಶ್ಲೋಕ ಇದೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾರದರು ಒಂದು 4-5 ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳುವಂತದ್ದು. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಫ್ಯೂ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಐ ಗಾಟ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಪ್ರಭು. ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Veda Mataji, for your second Bhagavatam class in Kannada. So we all enjoyed it. Thank you, Radha Surangini Mataji. You have given your time and dedication to explain these words. So your points are very interesting. Like Lord has created the first creation is already there. There is nothing new for the Supreme Lord. But for the living entities, they cannot create on the first hand, because the first hand is by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. So there is nothing new to do anything, but the Supreme Lord has empowered Brahmaji so that he can do the secondary creation. He has given all the ingredients. Bhume nalo apala vayu kham manor buddhi evacha. All he has given all the materials. Similarly, when we observe the house construction, the building construction, when it is going on, we keep seeing bricks, cement, sand, everything. So what, we are not constructing anything, we are not creating anything. When whatever already existing materials we are collecting and we are putting in a different ways. And for that, we are posing like we are great, and we are great engineers or scientists. Then, yeah. So you have nicely also explained about the Prabhupada calling scientists as rascals. So whoever does not know Krishna consciousness, they are like that only. So Acharya can able to do that. So at the same time, you also mentioned the defects of the scientist. So we cannot judge on our own intelligence, as you rightly mentioned. One Prabhuji would have done like this. So we should not judge the spiritual personalities, especially the Guru. That Ramanujacharya, his cousin Govinda, looks like he was playing with a snake, or he was killing some. For some people, it's playing like a snake. For some people, he is killing a snake. But nobody could able to do what actually is going on. So Govinda, he explained that there was a what is that? There was a
Thorn in the
nail.
bush.
thorn in the snake teeth. He is trying to remove it. He is doing good thing only. He is not killing. So we should not judge. Similarly, I also heard from one Prabhu. So he had a doubt in his mentor. So this lecture is only for 10 minutes. How did you hear this lecture? You have mentioned, you heard this lecture for 30 minutes. This lecture is only for 10 minutes. So that mentor explained, yeah, though the lecture is for 10 minutes, I heard it for 3 times. So that's why it became 30 minutes. So we should be very careful in our dealings with the spiritual master, especially with the Guru Maharaj. We should be very, very careful. We should not doubt our mentors or counselors. We should give proper respect and due diligence. However, we can ask them. We can ask them how you could able to do that. Okay, so finally in these words, though the verse is very small, Radha Surangini Mataji has explained very nicely. She has taken good time. So Naradaji is explaining, he is asking various questions. This set of series of questions will go on and on and on. So final interesting point is Prabhupada purport end sentence. Therefore, no one is independent in the matter of any creation, nor is such creation is automatic. So foolish scientists, they think that the big junk has come, and from the junk so many living entities have come up. This is all baseless. It is a false. When the earth is rotating around the itself and around the sun, and the sun is also moving here and there, this is not happening automatically. The creation is not automatic, and nobody is independent. Only the Supreme Lord is independent. He is called Swarat. So under his direction, everything is moving. So this is the transcendental knowledge, which is not available in any PhD thesis or in any MTech, BTech courses. Okay. So thank you very much, all of us, for joining and making this Bhagavatam transfer wonderful. Hare Krishna, Gandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai.